We have breaking news out of America this evening where Haas F1 are expected to announce Logan Sargeant has been promoted to replace Mick Schumacher, with Juan Manuel Correa stepping into the reserve role. Now, team principal Aussie Villain is about to begin a press conference, so we're going to join in there live. Look, I warned Mick, he knew the deal, and yet again he failed to deliver in Miami. So now this is Logan's chance to prove himself in Formula One. Do we have any questions? Yes, Richard Lovelady, American sportscaster. Now, can you confirm the length of Logan's contract? Oof, I'm glad you said contract there, mate. Yeah, it's a 5-year deal. We believe that Logan is the best American driver going around, so he wanted to show that confidence in the length of contract. Yes, and Juan Manuel Correa joins the team as the reserve driver. Now, what are your plans for him? Yeah, I mean, the plan is to make sure that Logan and K-Mag don't miss any sessions. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Kicking Haas and a new look Haas F1 as we have made the change. Mick is out. I should say today it is the... What race are we doing today? The Spanish Grand Prix, of course it is. So Spanish Grand Prix today, and yeah, Logan Sargeant, it will making his F1 debut. He has come in and... Yeah, I mean, I warned Mick what was going to happen if he didn't score points, and that has happened. Now, there are obviously some shortcomings here. Smoothness is a big one. That is his ability to for tyre wear, and... well, that needs to be improved. And adaptability as well. We've just got to hope that there's no wet tracks, basically, because he is going to be a long last if that's the case. He's not ready for F1 yet. Let's not kid ourselves around. This is a growing season for him. Next season is probably a growing season for him as well. But, yeah, we're going to give him the time in the car. I'll explain myself why I've done this just from an actual, like, what's the word? From a strategic point of view, I guess. But, yeah. It's a growing year for him, but hopefully he will develop quickly. Now, the other guy, it's a 5-year deal, I should say. If we look at his contract, 5-year deal, he's only got $500,000. So that's actually, it's a steal for us. You know, in 4 or 5 years' time, when he should be quite good, having him on $500,000 is really gonna be a good deal for us. And even if we want to break it, it's only $1 million. I say only, but you know, in Formula One, that's not that much. So it's actually a deal that works out very, very well for us all round, I think. So that is Logan Sargeant. Now, Juan Manuel Correa is the new reserve. There is nothing about him that says he's going to be anywhere near good enough, and he's only got an average growth potential as well. So he is purely here until we can get one of the other youngsters that qualifies. Jack Crawford is the guy I want at this point, so we'll see. He can't drive until next year, I think, when he's going to be 18. I think he's only 17 right now. So his 18th birthday present will be the reserve seat at Haas. We've just got to wait for him to get there. So in the meantime, Juan Manuel Correa will fill that role. He is the only other American that we're able to sign to do it. So there we go. That is that. Now, let's go back and have a look at where we left off. Of course, the Miami Grand Prix, and it was a good one, wasn't it? It could have been so much more, but in the end, it was what, P6, I think, for K-Mag. So that was excellent. Now, the cars and everything are fine. So let's continue along here. We've got 11 days until the next race. And what have we got here? Important email. So we've got low morale for our, who is that? A race engineer. So that's fine, I suppose. Who's race engineer are you? Logan Sargeant. I wonder if that's because we sacked Mick. Anyway, that's fine. You'll get to know each other and you'll get on just well. You're both rated 70. You have a lot in common. So that is that. K-Mag has low... How can he have low morale? Is it all because we just sacked Mick? He can't have been that popular, surely. But anyway, there's our 2 new signings and more low morale. We're massively overachieving. I'm a little bit concerned about that, actually, if I'm honest. We need some new front wings, so we will go and manufacture that. Front wings, we only have in the warehouse 0, so we definitely need some front wings. So let's go and get 4 of those. 13 days, we need to rush that, so we have them for Spain. Yeah, that should be fine. So there we go. That is the front wings restocked. Was there anything else here? No. Chassis. We need another chassis as well, do we? Jesus Christ, stop crashing the car, guys. So we want new part development. We need a new... No, oh, we can't manufacture anything else. Well, let's hope nobody crashes then if we don't have any chassis. Manufacturing is complete, so that should allow us to do something else. Another low morale for race engineer. Engine in poor condition. We will have to deal with that in time. I wanted to go and manufacture another chassis. Why can't I make no manufacturing slots available? All right, then I won't do that then. Slightly concerned if we have a crash that we're only going to have one car, but anyway, we'll deal with that when it comes around. Manufacturing complete, the underfloor. That was a new part, wasn't it? So this is actually quite exciting. Underfloor manufactured. Now, how many of those do we have? 5, so that's excellent. We can go and make the change to the car. Can we? No, it's not a new one. We had the new one for, what's it called? For Miami, didn't we? So now we can go and build new chassis. We have 2, we have none in the warehouse, so we probably want to build at least, we'll build 3. We're going to need a 3rd one now. We're going to have to, okay, so let's emergency build 1 so that we have a 3rd one for Spain, and just hope we don't have 2 crashes that ride off that. And then we can normal build 2, because we only have to have them for the next race, and we should have at least 1 more for the next race, so that should be fine. Yeah, that works out, I think, doesn't it? All right, continue along. And we are getting ready for the Spanish Grand Prix. Up-and-coming driver, Victor Martins, because he won Formula 3 in real life. Well done to him, but he's French, so that's no good to us. And let's go and have a look at our race prep here. The circuit info, let's have a look. Circuit map, we can see there the sectors, sections by speed. So it's usually a lot of high-speed corners, medium-speed corners, isn't it? So that's not necessarily our car strength, is it? We can see there safety cars are a 75% chance, expecting a 2-stop up, and there's the compound performance, which doesn't seem to matter that much, if I'm honest. And it does, but it doesn't. Qualifying positions, we're looking for 2 cars in the top 12. I don't think that's a big ask for Logan Sargeant. 1 car in Q2, though. I'm fairly confident of K-Mag getting into Q2, so we'll do that. Fastest lap efficiency, 1 car in the top 12. Let's back K-Mag to do that as well. And qualifying targets, well, we need 1 car in the top 15 of the race, and we need 1 car in the top 14 of qualifying. So if we do it in qualifying, we'll get a cool $250,000. So that is all our things done there. Let's go and do some free practice, see how Logan Sargeant does. So we are expecting rain on qualifying Saturday, but it's going to be dry the rest of the time. We're not going to give Juan Manuel Correa any free practice time, basically because he's not good enough. We know he's not good enough. He can use the simulator and improve in there, and if he happens to shock us, then maybe we look to give him a chance. But I'm fairly confident that everyone's going to agree with me that he is just not good enough. So actually, let's try and hopefully get some. That straight's quite long, and it's really the only overtaking area, isn't it, around Barcelona? So there we go. We'll play around with the setup, and I will catch you up on how Logan is getting on. Okay, so we're about halfway through FP1. Slightly concerningly, Sargeant is about 7 or 8 tenths off of K-Mag. We're still working on setups, obviously, but I was hoping the gap wouldn't be quite that big, if I'm honest. But yeah, 7 tenths is a lot. Okay, so FP1 has now finished. K-Mag 14th, Logan Sargeant 16th, or as I say, about 7 tenths behind him. I'll be honest, if he can just stay ahead of the Aston Martins and Williams, I think that's a decent first up attempt for him. So yeah, we'll see how we go in FP2. The setups are not too bad, we're getting there. Alright, so we're about halfway through FP2 now, and Sargeant has got the gap down to K-Mag to about 3 tenths. We're closing in on the setups that they like, so that's obviously going to help times. But yeah, Sargeant is definitely closer this session. Okay, so FP2 is done now. Now, right at the end, K-Mag pulled out a lap. He is about half a second faster again in P13. Logan Sargeant, P16. Like I say, he's ahead of the Aston Martins and the Williams, and if he does that this race, I'll be happy with it. So let's move on to Saturday now, see how much rain we have. And as FP1 is about to get underway, it doesn't look like we have too much. Now, Logan Sargeant's setup, we're at 87% confidence. His highest was 91, so whatever we did last time, we went the wrong way with it. Okay, so free practice 3 is now finished as well. K-Mag in 13th. Sargeant got ahead of McLaren, one of the McLarens in Ricardo as well. So that's good. And again, he is about 4 tenths, 3.5, 4 tenths off of him. So if that's his gap, fair enough, that's his gap. Ricardo's on a hard tyre, so we've got to bear that in mind as well. But if you have a look here at the setups, we've got mid to high 90s on both of them, so that's excellent. So coming into qualifying, which is potentially a wet qualifying, that's it's looking good. Okay, so we're going to send them both straight out. 5 minutes time. we're expecting 90% chance of rain. So it's going to rain in 5 minutes time. Now we know from Miami that our weather is not the best in terms of accuracy. So we don't want to waste time. It could be here 2 minutes sooner. It could be here half an hour later. We don't know. So we're just going to get out there and do this. And we're going to join Logan Sargeant on board for his first lap of Formula 1 qualifying. Now, obviously, he's going to be doing purple and green sectors because it's his first lap. He just needs to lay one down here, doesn't he? And just make sure that... I mean, he's got a very good chance of progressing because there's still a lot of cars in the pits there. And if they don't get out before it rains, then, well, they're not going to out-qualify him, you wouldn't have thought. So far, so good. This lap looks fairly good, doesn't it? Not as fast as K-Mag, but we would expect that. And, yeah, as I say, we'll just see how he gets on here. Now, the reason that I've put him into the race seat from sort of just generally why I think we'll do better in the long term is I've got an offline game that I've been playing with Aston Martin just to try and learn the game myself. Obviously, it's a brand new game for everybody. And in that, just to try sort of driver development, what works, and what for me anyway, is I've signed Porcher into the race seat and Jack Doohan as the reserve driver. And I've been putting Jack Doohan in for... I've got Fernando Alonso as well to Aston Martin for Season 2. So I've been putting Jack Doohan in for him for the first free practice. Then we've got a maxed out race simulator as well. And even with that, Porcher in the race seat is developing a little bit faster than Jack Doohan is. So I think that by putting Sargeant in the race seat here, what that's going to mean is he's going to develop faster than he would do, again, 6.5, 7 tenths to Magnussen. I mean, he's going to develop faster than he would do if he was just in... Just as a reserve driver and Mick was racing. So we're just coming back into the pits. Rain is starting, and now K-Mag is currently fastest, and Sargeant is third fastest, ahead of 2 cars, and there's still cars in the pits. Now, if this rain, it's not going to dry out in time. It's not going to. We're both going to be through into Q2 here, surely. They're nowhere near us. They're 20 seconds off. So we're going to have 2 cars into Q2, and well done, Logan Sargeant. You get out early. I don't understand why the AI wasn't getting out of the pit straight away as well. They're absolutely nowhere near it. The track is drying out a little bit, but it's not going to dry out enough. We have absolutely no need to go back out because it's intermediate. Everybody's coming back in. You're all screwed. They're going to go back out. Somebody might... it'll be interesting to see if they can get from 20 seconds up to 12. That's a lot of a time gain. But it's going to make a little difference to us as they whip around like a bunch of panicking dots because we are first and third. Are we first and third? We are first and third going into qualifying 2. Excellent, excellent news. So K-Mag sets the fastest time. Logan Sargeant third. What a debut that is. And we will now head off into second qualifying with both our cars. Okay, so both cars have already done a run. It's a little fast. Hang on, we've ruined this. Both cars have done a run. K-Mag is currently on the bubble. Logan Sargeant is 13th. It would be amazing if he could start there for the race. Now, I'm not expecting Sargeant to get through here, obviously, though we are riding on board with him. K-Mag is the one, though. He needs to go a little bit faster just to make sure that the cars behind us aren't going to leapfrog. And, I mean, he's not that far away from Hamilton and the 2 Alpines in front and Norris as well, so... This could be interesting. Now, Hamilton's teammate Russell is up there in 5th and gone a lot faster. And we've got Ricciardo behind us. Now, he's about half a second off of Norris, which you could argue is accurate. Which kills me to say. It's not funny. If I didn't laugh, I'd cry. But both cars are going faster. I would be absolutely ecstatic if we got 13th with Sargeant. And given that it's an Aston Martin and a Williams behind us, he's every chance of doing that. That's what I want him to do, is be ahead of those. And K-Mag is not gone faster in the middle sector, so he might be in a little bit of trouble here. You'll see on the track map there that we're sort of in the, not quite at the very back. Maybe went out a little bit too soon. And Magnussen has now been bumped down. He needs to do a faster lap. What can Sargeant do? Is he going to get ahead of Ricciardo? I would be surprised. He's not. He stays where he is, and Magnussen has come to the garage for some reason. Why has he done that? So we're all out. 11th and 13th will be where we start. So both cars, I'm not sure, did K-Mag come straight into the pits or did he finish his lap? Anyway, 11th and 13th, that is absolutely fine. We'll start there, we'll take that. If he'd done his lap time from the first session, he would have got through, but of course that was pre-rain, so the track would have lost a lot of rubber with that heavy rain that we did get in Q1. But there we go. That will do it for the qualifying episode. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you're ready to watch the race, see how Logan Sargeant does on debut, make sure there's a link up there, so just click on that. We'll go straight through to watch the race, and yeah, well, let's see how he does. If he can come top 15, I'd be absolutely stoked.